Hi everyone! Today I thought our session could concentrate on Tai Chi movements that will help build and maintain our strength and therefore improve our balance. So we're going to focus on the transfer of weight, knowing exactly where our body weight is and using stances like empty stance. So let's get started. Starting with our feet hip width apart in our parallel stance. So my toes are pointing directly forwards. Just going to take a moment to think about our posture. So grounding our feet into the floor. It's sinking the chi into the floor. We're spreading our roots. We're building that solid foundation for our balance. We're keeping all our joints tension free. So I don't want you to tense up and lock the joints. I want you to keep them nice and soft and relaxed. Tailbone tucked under or down. And again, this is visualizing this sinking down of the body weight into the floor, through the legs and spreading our roots. We're then going to concentrate on this core area. So pulling our belly button through to spine. And this is to engage our abdominal muscles. So we really want to create this strong core. It's going to help our torso stay strong and stay in position to help our stability whilst we are balancing. Lifting up through the crown and lifting up, feeling light on top. So we're heavy and grounded onto the floor, but we're feeling light as a feather on top, keeping all our joints tension free. The warm up today is going to concentrate on our legs and warming up our hips and knees and ankles. So we're just going to put our hands, rest them on our hips, and let's just bend our knees. So knees travelling in the direction of our toes. And again, bending your knees. So do listen to your own body. Keep all these movements well within your comfort zone. And modify to suit you. So the easiest modification is keeping everything small, listening to your body and just keeping it well within any limitations that you have. So we're going to take our feet slightly wider than hip width. And again, feet are facing forwards. And we're going to sink down into a bigger horse stance. So just as far as you can. Really concentrate on keeping that posture tall. So I'm sitting on a horse, just like it says in the title, horse stance. I want to sit nice and tall and proud. I want to keep my torso and my core area strong. Strong thigh position, so the knees are tracking and travelling in the direction of our toes. Let's take this down. And again. So we're going to take it down and slide it across to a side bow. So one knee bent, the other knee straight. We're bringing it to our horse stance and straightening the legs. Let's go the other way. So over to our side bow, back to centre and straightening the legs. Again, think about that core area, abdominals engaged. And do listen to your knees. Make sure you're not forcing them to go too low. Just do what you can and progress little by little. And bringing it up. Going to move on to our bow stance. So you start with your feet together, we turn one foot out and bring the other foot forwards. Now I'm keeping it quite close to me this stride, heel toe into my bow stance. It's quite upright. I'm not putting a big bend in this knee just yet. I'm just going to rock forwards and back. So just warming up the hips, warming up the knees, warming up the ankles. And engaging those leg muscles. Keeping this core area strong. And stepping in, turning that foot out, bringing the other foot forwards. Into our bow stance, keeping it small. And rocking backwards and forwards. So if you've been following me for a while and you're enjoying the sessions, then do subscribe. It does help my channel. And spread the word past the Freshfield Fitness YouTube channel onto your friends. It's free content here, so I'm really trying to help and support everyone and give you Tai Chi exercises to do at home. We're going to bring it in. So we're going to take our feet parallel, slightly turned out. We're going to take our feet to parallel, and I'd just like you to transfer the weight and just tap your foot so it's resting on the big toe, and we're just going to turn the waist as if we're pushing against a wall beside us, stepping a weight into the centre here, transferring the weight over to the other side. Let's do that tap there, and then step in here. And again, over to the side, stepping down the centre. So again, warming up the hip joints, warming up the knees and the ankles. Turning our feet out still in parallel. We're going to sink the weight and heel toe forwards into that bow stance. We're going to rock back and step to the side. Heel toe, so alternating forwards, and start to make these steps a little bit longer. So we're going a little bit deeper with our bend. We're rocking back, we're stepping to the side. If you can, staying under a low ceiling. Now we're starting to get the legs a little bit warmer. We can start to progress these movements. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to a wall here, just very gently using the fingertips, so I'm not grabbing hold of anything. If you have something that you can just keep yourself stable, you don't have to, you can keep your hands on your hips if you feel that you're going to be solid in your balance. We're just going to turn one foot out and sink the weight. I'm going to tap into our empty stance. So again, sink the weight, keeping the core area strong, lifting up through the crown here, and we're just going to tap in and tap out. Tap in and tap out. Tap in and out. And then we're just going to rest. Now we're going to do it to the side. So sink the weight, keep the posture tall. We're going to tap to the side and tap in and tap out and tap in, tap out and tap in, and then rest. Gonna go backwards. So again, sink the weight onto that supporting leg. Gonna tap as if our just going to rest our big toe on the floor and tap in and tap out and in. One more time. And then stretch the legs. Let's do that on the other side. So again, just turning that supporting leg out slightly. I'm going to use the wall just to keep me upright. But if you can keep your hands on your hips, sink the weight, and we're tapping into our empty stance here. So tapping in and tapping out. So the idea is the body weight is staying directly on top of that supporting leg. So I'm not transferring the weight at all. And then I'm just giving my legs a breather. Okay, so sink the weight. Good solid foundation. Going to tap to the side. Tap out and tap in. Tap out and in and out and in. And just straighten the legs. Giving them a breather. Final one to the back. Sink the weight. So we're always sinking the weight, transferring it onto our supporting leg, getting a secure foundation. And then that means we can release this leg for balance. Let's repeat all that. You can stick by holding the wall, or if you like, you can do it in the centre here with me. So turning the feet out slightly. I'm going to sink the weight over to one side and tap into my empty stance, grounding the feet, lifting through the crown, core area engaged. So I'm tapping in and out. Let's keep going. Let's do that on the other side. To the side, good foundation. So you can go out and come into T-stance. Take it out and in. Final ones, going towards the back. So we're tapping out to the back. And again. Don't worry if you wobble. Final ones. We're going to sink down and tap here, alternating. Sink and tap into your empty stance. So whenever you're sinking the weight, try and keep those hips aligned. This time I'm going to hold it here in our empty stance. Tap in, tap out, and step to the side. Tap in, tap out, step to the side. Okay, we're going to add some arm movements to that. I'm going to use white crane spreads its wings today. So let's just go over the arm movement. So holding the ball here, I'm going to take one hand up, nice bird's wings here, palm facing up, and the other hand is coming palm to elbow. A little twist of the waist means I can follow the palm with my eyes, and then I'm going to twist the waist back to the front, and this hand is just going to come straight down to the tabletop here, and then we're going to hold our ball. So other way, hand goes high, white crane, spreading its wings, and then hold your ball. Let's try that again. So if we take our feet slightly wider than hip width, we're going to sink into our horse stance here. We're going to transfer over to our side bow. White crane, spreading its wings back to our horse stance, and then straightening our legs, holding the ball. So sinking the weight, horse stance, side bow, same arm as leg going high. Transfer the weight back to our horse stance. White crane spreads its wings, and then straightening the legs as we hold the ball. Let's do that together. Side bow, back to horse stance, straighten the legs, horse stance, side bow, horse stance, and again. So bringing the feet in a bit, turning them out. We're going to repeat the same arm movement but using our empty stance. So holding the ball in front of the chest. We're going to sink the weight over, hand goes high, into our empty stance as we tap, and then bringing it back to our centre. Sink the weight, hand goes high, and then we can tap into our empty stance and step into the side. Let's repeat that. So think about where your weight is, your body weight right on top of that supporting leg, enabling you to release that foot and tap it into our empty stance. Let's go again. Still think about that posture, keeping it tall, keeping that core engaged. And again. So we're going to carry on with this movement, but we're going to add a lift and hold. So we're going to lift up, tap down, and step to the side. Take it all the way across. Lift up, tap down, and step to the side. Repeating that, we're going to add another little movement on, again all about the balance. So taking our feet slightly wider than hip width, just going to turn them out slightly. And we're going to hold our ball and we're going to sink the weight. So we're going to do our tapping into our empty stance just like before. We're going to lift up and tap down. We're going to hold our empty stance here. So again, think about your core. I'm going to do our 2 transition circles, like you often find in our yang style form. Then we're going to lift up again and we're going to take this foot out quite wide so that then we can slide, and it's almost like we're in a side bow. We can slide over into our horse stance. White crane spreads its wings and then straighten up into the centre, holding our ball. So we can go again. So we're taking the weight over to the side and we're tapping into our empty stance. We're going to lift up, we're going to tap down, circle and circle, and then we're going to tap here, lift up and take it out, and then we're going to slide across the bench to our white crane spreads its wings, horse stance, and then straighten the legs. So all about connecting, feeling your movement, knowing where your body weight is, so being very aware of that transfer of weight and really holding this core so that we can control these movements, and that will hopefully develop your strength. Do listen to your body. I'm going to bring our hands up and I'm just turning my feet out so that they are a wider base for our balance. I'm going to slide into our side bow here. White crane spreads its wings. So once my weight is over, I'm releasing that foot and I'm placing it into our empty stance. I'm going to do the lift up and tap down. So that's just like we did before. I'm going to hold it here in empty stance. Circle the top hand over the body. Circle the bottom hand over the body. And we're going to tap in. I'm going to lift up. And we're going to step out. Keep the weight here in this supporting leg. And then we slide across the bench like we did earlier in the session to our white crane spreads its wing in horse stance. We've got our feet slightly turned out, so remember that your knees track in the direction of our toes, good strong thigh position, keeping the core engaged. We straighten the legs and we hold the ball. So we slide over to our side bow. We're tapping into our empty stance, white crane spreads its wings. We're lifting up, we're tapping down. Holding the empty stance as we circle, circle. And we're going to tap in here, and then we're going to lift up, we're going to step out, and then slide across to our horse stance. Straighten the legs, hold the ball. Let's do that again. Side bow, white crane spreads its wing to empty stance. Lift up, tap down. Hold the horse empty stance, circle, circle. We're tapping in, we're lifting up. We're going to step out and slide across to our horse stance. Straighten the legs, hold the ball. Let's go again. Side bow, empty stance. Lift, empty. Circle, circle, tap, lift up, step out, slide to our horse stance, white crane spreads its wings, straighten the hands, holding the ball, let's go again. sweep the legs and arms. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Just concentrating on the legs, those empty stances, that transfer of the weight, and again. Let's bring the feet to parallel. Just bring the hands round to hug in the tree and take them back. And then open them out and bring them back. So almost do a circle, hug in the tree, circle round and open in the chest. And then gather, balance the chi. And bring it all the way in. Tai Chi, it looks really simple and easy to do, but it's that transfer of the weight and the fact that we practice so slowly and carefully and deliberately and have that body weight transfer that makes it really good for the development of our strength, holding on to that strength which will improve and help our balance. Take care everyone, and I'll see you again for some more Tai Chi, and do remember to subscribe here to Freshfield Fitness YouTube channel, and see you soon. Bye!